Hi traders, welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi, Senior Market Analyst. In this video, we're going to go through the week ahead. We're going to highlight some of that data coming up this week, as well as some charts to watch. Now, we have a huge data week coming up. We've got central bank announcements from the Bank of Japan, the RBA. We have the US federal funds rate as well from the Federal Reserve. We also have Bank of England announcements as well. And then in the mix of all that data, we've got a Swiss National Bank announcement. We've got CPI from Canada, CPI from the UK, GDP data from New Zealand, and then we've got some PMIs out of sort of the UK and Europe, as well as the US at the end of the week. So huge data week. How we uncover all this, I'll have to figure that out this week, but we've got big announcements. I think one thing that we really need to look for is the Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan, are they going to come out of that negative rate? What does that mean for the Japanese yen? If we do see a kind of move outside of negative interest rates, will that see the Japanese yen strengthen this week? The yen may strengthen this week just from the fact that we've got lots of high impact data. You know, are we also going to see a little bit more of a risk off environment because of the sheer amount of high impact data? That's something to consider as well. RBA looking to hold interest rates at 4.35%. I don't think we're going to see anything too much there from the RBA. May talk about future cuts. Federal funds rate, this is going to be a big one. Obviously, we've got the potential economic projections and dot plot. Are they going to provide clues for when the Federal Reserve are going to cut interest rates? Obviously, we had hotter CPI and PPI numbers recently. So is that going to mean that the Fed are more likely to sort of hold off on rate cuts right now? And are we going to see that hold and then maybe even push back the potential cuts in the future? I think that's what the market is going to try and anticipate coming up this week. Swiss National Bank expected to hold rates at 1.75%. Don't think we'll see much change from the Swiss National Bank. And then obviously Bank of England looking to hold rates at 5.25%. I think the BOE may discuss future cuts to come potentially in the summer, looking more at August for cuts here in the UK. So we could see lots and lots of high impact data coming up this week. I will give you further updates on those in the week ahead. Going on to the strength meter, to be honest, I don't really see much influence on the strength meter this week. When we do have high impact data weeks, we need to focus more on the fundamental side rather than the sort of currency strength meter. But just to kind of highlight that the pound is the strongest currency at the moment and the Swiss franc is the weakest. Now, we could obviously see a little bit of a change in dynamics here in terms of reversals. Might see a bit of pound weakness, bit of Swiss strength. Pound Swiss could be one to watch in terms of a reversal there. Dollar obviously has fallen sharply recently. You know, that could obviously continue as well, although obviously we did get a little bit of push up in the US dollar due to that PPI data. Now, like I said, we had a bit of a consolidation last week. We were holding at this 102.75. I think if we held at this level, then I wanted to see a move up to the 103.50s. We eventually got that towards the end of last week, and it's what happens here essentially. We've got another situation now where we're at that 103.50 level, and it's a bit of a turning point in terms of fundamentals. Do we see what sort of kind of a hold this week, very similar to what we got at the early parts of last week? I think that we'll probably move a little sideways here until the announcement. We'll get some reaction to that data, but I think obviously breaks above 103.50 could leave for moves up to 104.50. Hold below 103.50 could see price move more towards 102.75. Concluding the Australian dollar, the US dollar this week, obviously price tried to break above that sort of 0.6625 or 0.6650 zone the week prior. hasn't held up this week, and we had a strong bearish close. So if we were to see any kind of momentum here, and a move down towards 0.65 could be on the cards. I think you only want to be long this market if price can hold above 0.6650. Going on to dollar yen then. This week is going to be very volatile for this pair. I think, you know, we've got this kind of consolidation up here that formed recently between sort of 151s and 149.70s. Obviously, that's a big area where volume could be placed at the moment. Is the market going to go seek this volume ahead of these announcements? I think one thing we need to look for is if we do see the Bank of Japan come out of negative rates, that could be fairly influential for the yen. I think that could strengthen the yen, and we could see a move down towards 146.25 for dollar yen, maybe even a move down to 143.75. If the Bank of Japan, however, disappoints and we see a break above 149.70, then the next level of resistance is 151.81. One commodity that could really benefit from a week like this, if we do see that risk-off environment really come into play, is gold. Now, we actually had a little bit of a sort of pullback from the sort of breakout week, and we crawled all the way back into those previous highs towards that 21.49 handle. And I think if we can hold above this level, it would be really crucial for anybody that's long in the market. I think they would be a lot more confident if price can remain above this 21.49, 21.50 sort of dollar area. A breach back below could see these buyers get a little bit scared and may want to leave the market at that point, may want to take profit, which could influence a lot more selling pressure down potentially towards that $2,085 level, which is obviously the range highs that formed between these two levels. So expecting gold to have a little bit of movement this week. Like I said, the key level is going to be that 21.49 handle. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you have a successful trading week this week. Let me know what your thoughts are on this week in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.